Dostoevsky is one of my favorite writers of all time, and I talk about him very frequently on my page, usually singing his praises. But in the spirit of fairness, I thought it would be interesting to make a video talking about the critiques of Dostoevsky. One of the most popular critiques of Dostoevsky, and one that is often associated with the Russian author Ivan Turgenev, is the idea that Dostoevsky creates ideological characters, or puppets of his characters. Turgenev pretty much criticized Dostoevsky, saying that his characters really only represented suffering and were used to essentially preach an idea rather than embody a real human person. They were too theatrical in Turgenev's view, and in this sense, sort of strayed away from that realism that they were supposed to embody. And to some degree, I would agree that you could argue for this point. However, Dostoevsky does make quite a funny little quip back at Turgenev, saying that he should buy a telescope if he wants to understand the Russian people better. Turgenev, at the time, of course, lived in Paris, which made this rebuttal very funny and very ironic. Now, another major critique of Dostoevsky, and probably the most popular, is one by Vladimir Nabokov, who is arguably, in my opinion, one of the most talented writers of the 20th century. Similar to Turgenev, Nabokov did not like Dostoevsky's appeal towards this chaos with the characters. He believed that they were far too exaggerated, melodramatic, and crude. And he ultimately believed that Dostoevsky sort of relied too much on emotional chaos to create his points rather than real, refined craftsmanship. And while I do believe this is a fair argument, it's also kind of his thing, you know? And it's, like, really good. But what do you think? Do you agree with these critiques? I mean, I think to some degree they are right, but nonetheless, I think they're just kind of a little bit uptight, you know? But I'm curious to hear your thoughts.